Sure, if you're not at this, what else are you going at? There's nothing better than going around the harbour having a yarn. Alright, boys, welcome to episode 2 of the Harbour Yarn Podcast with myself, Harbour Customs, also known as Adam Hatter. Boys, you can find me on all my socials. I'm on TikTok. I'm just getting going on the Instagram, like I said before, and a little bit on YouTube. The first episode 1, is up on YouTube there now. If you want to check it out, it's there. How did episode 1 get received? I would say fairly well. For the first time I was doing a podcast and threw it out there, people said it was half decent. I thought it was half decent. I will say I learned a little bit. Very hard to do post-production editing, boys, because me sitting down trying to figure out what kind of software to use. Tangly as trall, boys. But I did get it figured out and I put it into somewhat of a finished product. I also learned a GoPro is not the best thing to be recording on, boys, because even on a linear setting, that's a big all-wide lens. So we got a new Sony camera on the go here now. We'll see how that works out. Seems to be doing fairly well so far. I can see myself in that little screen over there. That's well, boys. That's about it for the intro. What's on the go with me? Let's roll right into that. When I wanted to do this episode 2, I said I'm going to do this now as soon as I get home from Belfast. We'll hit the ground running. We'll get episode 2, I'll record it off, and I might even be able to squeeze in episode 3 before I goes back. Boys, I'm a terrible procrastinator. So I'm in my last week home here now, and we're only getting episode 2 off the ground. But I'm not too long home from Belfast, I suppose, in the scheme of things. I'm thinking that's going to be my last hitch over. I might fly back to join the ship. I don't really know how that's going to look yet. But I got a feeling my time in Belfast is coming to a close if it's not already closed up. Boys, I'm going to miss it. Belfast is an absolutely wonderful city. After falling in love with it. And Northern Ireland and Ireland as a whole, the works. But I'm after making some great friends, lifelong friends I'd say now in Belfast, just through going around over there in the evenings and all that. And boys, I'm going to miss it. It's going to be a big step change. I touched on that in the last podcast. It's a huge step change for me now. Because I've been over there since February and I've had freedom in the evenings. I can go out, left to my own devices. But now, transitioning back to offshore, I gets off shift, you just got the boat. So that's going to be hard. And I think that compounds how much I'm going to miss Belfast as well. And like you say, the trade scene over there, that's not something I ever done in my life, but it's something I was able to take part of while I was over in Belfast and learn about it and learn to love it and even do a little bit of singing on my own. Not something I've ever done before, but I don't know. Well, I don't know if I'll drag it back home or how it'll look. I've always, since I've been over back and forth to Belfast, I said I'd like to get a trade night on the go at the White's Restaurant over at Harbour. Maybe like a Sunday evening or something like that, because there's a lot of musical talent on the shore, and I'm sure I can wrangle up a few hands with a few instruments and all that, just to sit down for a couple hours, sing a few songs, play a bit of music, have a few pints and a bit of dandy conversation. It's not something that's on the go here up the shore. I have talked to people since I've been putting out a little bit of media about the trade scene and all that over in Belfast, and I've been educated that there is more of a scene on the go in St. John's than what I had thought. I'm just not in tune with it. That's the only thing about it. But I would like to get one on the go up the shore, just as a little bit more accessible to myself, but to try to give people a platform that they can come and do a bit of music and do it locally and not have to drive to St. John's. So hopefully, through the fall, I might be able to get a night or two of that on the go on the hitches that I'm home. Like I said, I'm a terrible procrastinator, so that you mightn't see that till next fall. But we can always think about it, right? I would like to see it happen sooner rather than later. But we'll see. It'll come in time. I'm sure if I get the trade session on the go, we'll throw the camera up, we'll do a few clips of that. It'd be a dandy old thing to come out to, but in time. Anything else about... Oh, yes, there was one thing I want to touch on this episode of the podcast. Like, I puts out a lot of media, people saying, you know, do people understand you? Do you have trouble with people understanding you different places that you go? And I done a little take on it there a couple of days ago, that I've worked with people from all over. And if you just puts in a little bit of effort, boys, usually it works out the best kind. Now, I was at Madden's Bar. The last night I was in Belfast, I met up with a good friend of mine, Cormac, while I was there. We sat down for a few pints. He was there with a friend from East Belfast. And, you know, I sat down, he introduced me to her. Probably the strongest accent I've heard in Belfast while I was over. And boys, I'm going to be honest, is one that definitely threw me for a loop. The most, more so, in recent history that I can think of. She started speaking, and I had to strain. Now, there's a bit of background noise in the bar and all that now too, but I had to strain to put together the words she was stringing out. And I'm not going to try an East Belfast accent because I can't do it. But very, very strong accent. You can look it up and see what I'm talking about there. So now pair her with me, and then Cormac was having a grand laugh at it too. He said, boy, like, two of ye now was just like two people from two different planets talking. But I picked up what she was laying down. She was picking up what I was laying down. But to throw her for a loop and kind of show her where we were coming from, how we were talking about my accent and stuff like that, I riddled off the old the Screecher saying. And boy, she was looking at me like, she looked at Cormac. She said, where did you find him? And do you mean to tell me there's more people that sounds like him? And, it explained what that saying meant and all that. She had a grand laugh at it, but it was a dandy night. Like the boys would say, the crack was 90. Now, as well, when I left, it was summertime. And I got back now at the end of September. It was early October now. It was well into the odds of fall. I left like it was pure summer. Hot days, out on the bike, you were sweating to death. I come back home, we had a couple of cold northeasterlies blowing, and you knew it was fall. I had to adjust fairly quickly. That being said, though, since I got back, the weather been fairly decent. You can have a good fall or a bad fall or an in-between. In terms of the fall this year have been pretty good, I gotta say. Haven't been a whole lot of rain. You get to days where you don't know if it starts raining, you got sun splitting the stones the next minute, and it starts raining again off and on like that. But it had been fairly well, I must say, overall. Excellent conditions for riding. I haven't had a whole lot of laps, like you say, because you're trying to balance it with weather and other stuff that I got on the go. But probably the best riding I've seen all summer on the mountain bike, all year on the mountain bike. And it's deadly to be able to come back to that. Now, it is going to come to a close awful quick because you just get 4 or 5 days of rain in the mix. You're right back to the muck and you're into the cold of it. You'll know you're well back in the fall. But for now, definitely enjoying it. So I'm getting some good laps in on the bike. Like I say, I only got a week left home at this point now as I'm recording this. So those rides are getting short now. The time I gets back again, it'll be up until November month. So you're only scraping together a couple of frosty runs then. What do? That's all part of it. While I was away in Belfast, I did, on the topic of mountain biking, I missed my race. Now, there was only one enduro race in St. John's this year. We had one in Cornerbrook, the West Coast Cycling Association. I think they does that. Or Long Range Enduro. That's who does it. Long Range Enduro had theirs over in Cornerbrook, and we only had the one race in St. John's this year with St. John's Enduro Series. I missed it. Couldn't get no time off because we're in such a big project with the boat and all that now, and it's tangling with flights back and forth. So I missed my race. I hate missing my races, boys. I think since I started riding again back in 2019, this is the first year I missed an Enduro Series. It sucks. But the boys had a deadly day. The racing was good. I don't think anyone got broke up this year, so that's always good. But it does suck to miss it. Again, what do? I guess rallying back into all that, get out and enjoy the weather, boys. We don't always have a great fall here in Newfoundland. Sometimes you get a pile of hurricanes rolling up through and it seems like they're just one after another. And you just can't get out of that rain, drizzle, fog, the cold northerly wind, and all that. But the days that you can get out and enjoy them. I mean, we got a wicked spot here. We were over having supper the other night over to the Bread and Cheese and Bay Bowls. And we were talking to a few people that were down visiting from Quebec. And they were blown away. They almost said, like, this is almost a hidden gem here now because so many people don't know about it. But even in the poor days, with when the weather is iffy, it's still a wonderful place. One saying I have heard said is, there's no bad weather, there's just bad clothes. Just put on the decent clothes for it, put on a bit of the rain gear, and get out and go for a walk along the coast, boys. If you get caught in a rain shower, just shake it. You'll be all the better for it, and you get to take in a little bit of what the province got to offer. Why not? I mean, you could be stuck in some city somewhere, walking around a cold city block, so enjoy it while you can. When you can, I suppose. What else is on the go with me? So, hunting-wise, usually fall is a big hunting time for me. I got no moose tags this year. Father don't got no moose tags. There's no one belong to me got moose tags. So there's no moose hunting on the go. I haven't been talking to many people. I don't know how the boys are making out with their tags. I was talking to one of the young fellas there last night when I was on the live. He said there's a few people getting their moose, but it seems to be overall down here in 36. The than it would normally be a lot of years. Hopefully it picks up. Don't ever want to see people with their tags left over. Hopefully they can fill their tags out. I haven't started at the geese yet. I haven't been at the ducks now in the past few years, but tries to get at the geese. Usually for me, geese is late October, early November when the frost really starts setting in. That's when I enjoys me time at the geese. So I haven't really started at that yet. Probably should, but I haven't. So that'll probably be next time home. But on top of all that then too, you're going to start getting some skidoos getting ready or coming by to get ready. People just want them ready before the snow starts flying. So there's clutches, there's pre-seasons, all that sort of stuff. So I'll be facing eyes into that, I'm sure, next hitch in November month. But it's all good too. I'll enjoy being at it all. As busy as I do be, it drives me cracked to have nothing to be at. Just the nature of the beast, I suppose. So I do enjoy having stuff to be at. It's just I has a mountain about that high when I'm home. But what do you do? It's all fun. And I guess on the end of that, or for what's on the go with me there, I'm getting ready to go back to work. They told me I was going to be flying out on a chopper. I've heard no correspondence from the people at work because I try to distance myself while I'm home and my days off from work because when I'm home is my time. So I don't know if I'll be flying out to the boat on the chopper. I don't believe she's left Belfast yet as of today. So it's likely that I'm probably going to be flying back to Belfast and join the boat over there. Possibly sailing it over across the North Atlantic. I've never done that before. I didn't sail the boat to Belfast. It's possible I might be sailing her back. So if I do, I'm sure I'll give you a tale of that. Not a sailor by any stretch. When I goes out on that rig, she's anchored on the bottom. We spins around in a circle. So I'm a far thing from a sailor. It's just the fact that I works on a boat. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. One way or another, though, my time off is getting short. So whatever way I'll be travelling back to that boat, I will be going back. So fall weather on her is usually not too bad when you're out on station, out on North Atlantic. Like I say, it gets hurricanes roll up through, but you do get some nice days where the temperature is decent and it's good. We always says it was good working weather. You're not out there in the slugging in the old freezing rain and all that. But usually be good. I don't know how it'll be now, but well, like I say, we'll take it as it comes. We'll see where it goes. Moving away with what's on the go with me, we're going to move to the next segment of the podcast. So the topic section. And last pod's topic, I focused on Harbour legends. And we didn't get a whole lot of stuff get rolled in. We didn't get a whole lot of stuff that came across, but you'd expect that, boys. We're only starting to get going. But we did get a couple. I shared a couple of stories. There was a couple of people that put their Harbour legends in and a couple of comments on the TikTok videos and whatnot. I wouldn't be able to say that I know them, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that got dandy old memories of some Harbour legends from other places. We might resurface that again sometime as we get going a little bit further. But yeah, we had a dandy little laugh with it. So this week's topic that I threw out there a couple of weeks ago in a TikTok was, what's your favourite thing about the fall season? Do you have, more specifically, do you have a favourite memory or a favourite story? We never got a whole lot at that end of it, but we did get a lot of people's opinions on what they thought about the fall. A lot of people enjoys the hunting and the hiking, so I guess the outdoors aspect of the fall season here in Newfoundland. And boys, it's hard not to love it. Like you say, when you can get good weather, it's all the much better. But even dealing with the weather, I mean, it be nice. When you can get out in that cold, crisp air, take a walk through the woods and take in what the province has to offer to you in terms of the nature aspect of it, it's hard not to love it. And a lot of people are avid hunters here. You're getting right into the swing of the season. I see a lot of people have good memories about past moose hunts and duck hunts with their friends and their family and all that. It's just nice. And it's part of what I had growing up here in Newfoundland. And it's the same story for a lot of other people too. And it just stands out in your mind. That's what you'll be set in the fall of the year. And there's a lot of great memories made by it. So that's big. I did put it out there the other day because there's usually, I won't say there's two types of people, but you'll be really excited for the fall, or there's other people that as summer's going over, you could almost curl up in the ball, get into hibernation, and wait for summer to arrive again. And there's a fair few. There's a fair few people that would rather that. It's not for everyone, all right? Especially as you're always into the winter month, you get that weird area where you're just below freezing, just above freezing. It's constantly a freeze-thaw cycle through the winter. Yeah, it's not hard to get sick of that real quick. So there's a couple of people says they'd like to curl up in a ball and hibernate. Boys, I feel you. Just get a coffee, curl up in a ball if you need to, throw on all the record of Harry Hibbs and just wait, I suppose, for the days to get longer again. I'm only that's only a joke, boys. Try to get out and enjoy it. I know it's hard sometimes, but especially if you get days of decent weather, try to get out and enjoy it. It'll make it all better for you, and at least it'll make time pass a little bit better. Boys, do you like me mug? We were over in Belfast, and I used to ride the bike to work every day for certainly the last 3 hitches, if not 4. First we were renting bikes, then we had a little agreement for the boys on night shift, and then I was on day shift. I'd ride the bike into work, they'd ride it home. It was deadly, but we used to want to stop for a coffee in the morning on the way in. Now, I don't know if you ever tried it. I did try it one morning to ride a bike with a coffee cup in one hand and pedaling along with the other, dodging around the streets of Belfast. Not feasible, boys. It's not. So one of the boys found one of these little cups on Amazon. Said, boys, definitely get them. So there was a trio of us going around with little, I don't know what the brand name is, and it come from Amazon, like you say. Going around with these little cups, I'd ride up to Tim's in the morning, fill the all cup up, throw it in the backpack. Time I got to work, I had a nice cup of coffee to sit down up on the bridge before I started my day. It was wicked. So if you're looking for a little cup, oh no, there's the name on it, Forlorn. Oh, that's something there. Get yourself a Forlorn cup from Amazon. I'm not related or linked to those people in any way. So that's a free plug, Forlorn. You got a good little product there. Still drinking coffee out of it, so it must be half decent. Back on topic from my coffee cup of topic. Do I get any stories from fall? So my favourite thing to fall, like a lot of people, like now that I got back in the biking now the past 5 years or so, the riding. If you can get good weather, I'll be riding. It'll just be what it is. But hunting is huge too. And there's a couple of stories that stands out in my mind from hunting in fall of the year. They're just memories. They're core memories. The first one was the first goose that I got with my father. Got me first goose later on. Like, geez, I tried in my teenage years to flatten one. Never could do it. And I know father was here many years in Witless Bay before he nailed his first good goose hunt. But I remember as I was offshore, there was a huge storm coming up. I think that was 2017 or 2018. Big old storm coming up the eastern seaboard. We knew it was going to strike us. I just managed to fly in on the flight on Tuesday. After that, the sea heights come up. I think the boys were stuck for probably 4 or 5 days. But I got in on Tuesday. The next day was Wednesday. The storm was after hitting the coast, so it was blowing a bloody gale. But father wanted to go in at the geese that morning, so we went. Crawled up in a place called... actually, no, I'm not going to tell you because it's a good place. But crawled up in a gully home and see the 2 geese out in the middle of the gully. And poor old father flattened me down. And he said, you get on your gut now and crawl. And you couldn't even have your gut a couple of inches off the bag. No. To him, it was just the same as they were trying to make a foxhole in the war or something like that. Flat down. But we managed to nail 2 geese that day. We cooked one that day, and I think the second one we have for that New Year's Day dinner. The wife done it in a brine. It was deadly, boys. If you never had one done in a brine, same as a turkey, really good. But I always remember that. I mean, it was poor old father. You couldn't say how. I wouldn't ever be able to explain how proud he was, but he was pretty proud that day. 2 of us nailed our geese. It was a nice day. It always brings a smile to my face when it comes to fall of the year and I think on that day. It was nice. Another one, first goose, first moose, and that wasn't too long ago either. But me and father had a partner's license. We stayed down to the camp just because it was easy. You didn't have to get up from the house and drive anywhere, nothing like that. Stay down to the camp, you can get up and go for a walk. So myself and father and a couple of buddies were down there for the night. I had a dandy old couple of yarns in the evening and all that, went to the bunk. Got up next morning. We was after being up a little bit late the night before. I didn't expect to see nothing, like a lot of times. It was the first day of the season. It was a little bit warm too, so I said, nothing else, go for a walk. I didn't bother to wake the boys up. That was a mistake. Woke father up. Myself and father went for a walk. I don't say we was 40 minutes away from the camp. Nice 9-point bull come out around. Flattening. Now I had the bull down. Went over. Size enough. Said, okay, now the work starts. So father stayed there with the moose. I went back up to the camp, woke 2 of the boys up. Said, boys, get the bull down. And you know, it's not half sleep. Like, what are you talking about? Boys, get the tags. Needs a hand. Me buddy Lawler was rattled to this day, and I'd say until him or myself goes on the ground, He'll not let me live that down. As he said, I can't believe you left me in the bunk and you went on for a walk without me. Utterly devastated. Thinking back on it, that was the wrong decision to make because I was trying to do it as a kindness. It wasn't a kindness to him. If anything, it was a slap in the face. But if you ask him now, and if he ever gets in his company, say, oh yeah, what about Moose something? Why do you enjoy your time Moose something with Hatter? You'll see his expression just go fall off his face right away. But yeah, that was that was the big story about the first moose. It was another storm rolling in that day too, so we had to work pretty quick in the morning. It was half warm, and time 1 o'clock rolled around. We had them strung up over in Father's shed and cleaning up, and it was blowing hard then and sleet and rain. We just escaped it because if you ever been in the woods and the weather goes to turn on you and trying to get a moose out of the woods, that just makes that hard task. Mountains harder, mountains, boys. Don't make an enjoyable time. But we managed to escape at that time. And hopefully in hunts in the future it'll be the same thing. Will I leave the boys in the bunk again? Definitely not. Will they even go for a moose hunt with me again? That's questionable as well. My other buddy, he didn't really care one way or another. He was just happy to be there. Another fella, I went out to get him with a bike and a trailer. He was asleep down the house. He didn't know what I was talking about when I woke him up. But we had a grand laugh the whole day, must say. So that's my topic for this week. Again, didn't get a whole lot of stuff from people on TikTok or any emails or nothing like that. I don't expect to starting out, boys. But as time goes on, I'm hoping to get more and more of that interaction so we can have dandy all yarn about it. I loves hearing stories from other people, whether I know you or I don't know you. It's just always fun. It's dandy to generate a bit of conversation and have an all yarn about it. And that's what this whole podcast will be all about. A dandy all yarn. So boys, the next topic, what are we going to go on to next? So we went into the favourite things about fall on this one. I'm hearing a lot of talk about sports now. Hockey is just starting to get on the go. Baseball season is, I guess, winding down or ramping up, depending on how you want to look at it. Or getting into the end of their season, playoffs and all that. What's your favourite sport to watch? And do you have any big memories about watching sports? I know as I got some myself, I'm not a huge sports fella, boys. I'm after going to see a game a couple of times. I don't really even have it on TV just to pass away a bit of time. But some people, they lives, eats and breathes it. So what's your favourite sport to watch? And do you have any big memories about watching sports, whether it be live or at home? I mean, Jesus, like Super Bowl Sunday is an event people look forward to all year. So tell us about it. Send us a DM. Send us an email. I'll sure have a video up about it by the time this podcast drops. Favorite memories about watching sports, favorite things about watching sports, or just watching sports in general. Let us know. That'll be the next one. Now, moving into this section, I got this section put by for a guest. So if I manages to get a guest on before I goes back to work, this is where it'll go. If I don't, I do have people in the pipe there for it. Feller Pine, this fella on TikTok there, he does, I think he's on 240 odd days of lives. Out in the woods, he usually be having a boil up and all that. We're going to get Feller Pine on. I got another few people there that expressed a little bit of interest. So it's just a matter of getting the scheduling there and get you up and get you sat across the table from it and we'll have a dandy old yarn. Quote the Raven is, I guess they're folk, yeah, a folk band duo. I would love to get two of the boys across there. And maybe even do a song for us. That'd be deadly. Not really a big spot for it, but if two of them could do that there, Jesus Christ, it'd be deadly. But if I get a spot for that, you'll never see this little portion here. If I don't, you'll see this little portion of me just rambling on, explaining it. Fine enough either way. So moving on from that segment. Next segment, in my running order, my loose running order of the podcast, that I like, I must say, I'm not cementing it in, but I'm liking how this is rolling. The VOCM topic of the week. Now, we're into a new week here now, but boys, I'd be remiss if I never touched on Joshy the GOAT. Huge story last week on the VOCM. So CBS, town here in Newfoundland, they had a half marathon that was last weekend from when this was recorded, I guess the last weekend in September. They had a half marathon. Half marathon's fine. All the boys got out. It was a dandy day. The boys go out running. So a goat, I don't know if he got loose or how he managed to get into the track of this half marathon, but he ran either all or a good portion of the half marathon. So much so that he received a medal from the boys who organised the half marathon. Now I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of media thrown up here. I done a TikTok on it there last week. I'll see if I can throw a few pictures up and overlay it in what I'm talking about. But the GOAT with the medal on it, boys. Joshy the GOAT is what they're calling him now. Wild. Like, and where else are you going to see? It feels like such a Newfoundland thing. It's such a feel-good story, too, with a couple of the more serious or weighty stories that you see get thrown around here lately. A GOAT got loose and ran a half marathon. Everybody loved it. There was pictures of him, and he got a medal. Boys, you can't make it up. It was so nice to see it, I must say. And the media coverage was, well, it's only VOCM, but not only. The media coverage was huge on it. VOCM ran pieces on him. Apparently, it got as far away as the Washington Post. They done a story on him. I heard he was doing a game show or something. He was going to be a guest star on some sort of a game show. However, they were going to do that. Doing all live with the GOAT now on the game show. And he went down to the arena and dropped a puck for the Renegades at a hockey game or something like that. Now, I did see the little clip of that or a couple of pictures and all that. Fine and dandy. The old GOAT was there, had the jersey on. He's going dropping the puck for the game. Boys, if I was the owners of that GOAT and I put that GOAT out on the ice to drop the puck, I'd be frightened to death the GOAT would take the dirty dump on the ice. That'd be all I'd be thinking about. Right? He's going to go out, make the biggest cut in state on the ice. The fella's going out having to clean it up. I guess they didn't have him because I didn't see nothing about it. Good on him. But I don't know. I don't know if I would have took the chance. I would have stood there by the boards and threw the puck out and say, here you go, boys. Start up and go on. Apparently, I see on the story there too, he watched the first period of the game, so he must have a bit of an attention span. I see him looking at the puck. He was probably tracking it a little bit. They should have put it out and see if he would have chased it. Well, no. He'd be on the ice. Lives in a pumpkin patch in CBS. I see that. Actually, their owners, I was on TikTok Live the other night, and the owner hopped on, so I was talking back and forth. I'm going to see if I can get to the pumpkin patch before I heads back to work next week. Perhaps we'll do a TikTok with Joshy. Who knows? I did see they got merch for him. Boys, if Joshy the GOAT got merch on the go, there's no reason why I shouldn't be getting a drop of merch. It's something I kicked around my head for a long time now. I'd say the past couple of years. I thought about it, never really made a move on it. Perhaps we'll do a bit of merch. If Joshy the GOAT is doing merch, I feel like I'm missing out or I'm missing a boat. And at least doing something, a hat or a t-shirt, something like that. I don't know, maybe me and Joshy can team up, you do a collab, right? What is going to be next for Joshy? Hard to say. They said he had a busy week. He was going around doing a bit of media. You know, now everybody loved him. There was people dropping by seeing. I'd say he's all tired out. They said they were done with carting him around for a little while now. He was just going to take a bit of a break. Fine enough for Joshy. I think he done well out of it all. The old Joshy to go up by. All right, that's going to do it for the VOCM topic segment of the podcast. Boys, that brings us to a close for another episode. Episode 2 of the Harbour Yarn podcast. If you made it this far, I truly thank you because none of this is easy. And if you're stuck around this long to listen to me rabble on about a couple of old things, good on you because I definitely appreciate it all. Check out my socials. I'm most active on TikTok, but like you say, I'm starting to put a lot of the reels out on Instagram. You'll find me on either one of them at Harbour Customs. I'm going to try to get on YouTube a little bit more. YouTube Shorts I find is a little bit more clunky than what the Instagram reels are, and then TikTok as a platform itself. But I'll try to put a little bit more media there as I can. Obviously, this podcast is going to live on YouTube for the time being. So you'll catch this episode as well as episode 1 there and all the episodes from here on out. Yeah, there's not much more I got to say about that other than that. I hope wherever you're at, you're doing well the week. And I hope you're having a wonderful fall. And hopefully we can keep the old yarn going. Boys, until next time, arrive alive, VOCM cares.